Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or maybe you found yourself struggling to remember where you put your keys or the name of that movie you watched just last week. If you're over 60, you're not alone. These little memory slips can feel frustrating and sometimes even a little scary. But here's the good news. Memory loss doesn't have to be a normal part of aging. In fact, your brain is a lot like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And just like we stretch and move our bodies to stay fit, we can do the same for our minds. That's what today's video is all about. Small daily exercises you can do to keep your brain sharp, your memory clear, and your mind feeling younger than ever. Now, I want to be clear. This isn't about doing crossword puzzles all day or memorizing long lists of numbers. What I'm going to share with you today are 5 simple, effective exercises you can easily add into your everyday life. They don't require any fancy tools, and you don't need to spend hours doing them. These are brain-boosting habits that fit right into your normal routine. So, let's start with the first one, and it might surprise you. Talking to yourself. Yes, you heard me right. You know those times you mutter under your breath, "Where did I put my glasses?" Or, "Okay, let's see. I need milk, eggs, and bread." That little habit is actually doing your brain a favor. When you speak your thoughts out loud, you're engaging multiple areas of the brain: your auditory system, your language center, your memory processing. It's like switching on the lights in different rooms of your brain all at once. Studies have shown that talking to yourself while performing tasks can actually help you remember better and stay more focused. So next time you find yourself narrating your morning routine or planning your errands out loud, go for it. You're not going crazy. You're giving your brain a workout. Now, here's another one that's incredibly powerful. Doing something with your non-dominant hand. That means brushing your teeth with your left hand if you're right-handed, or trying to eat with your opposite hand during lunch. I know, it sounds a little silly. And yes, it might feel awkward at first. But that's the point. When you force your brain to do something it's not used to, it wakes up. It starts building new neural connections. And that's exactly what we want as we age. It's like giving your brain a brand new puzzle to solve. And the more new experiences you give it, the more resilient and sharp it becomes. Try it right now, actually. Cross your arms like you normally would. Now switch and cross them the other way. Feels weird, doesn't it? But just by doing that, you're already giving your brain a mini exercise. So why not take it a step further? Try writing your name with your opposite hand, or stirring your coffee in the other direction. These small shifts in daily habits can make a big difference in how active and flexible your brain stays. And speaking of flexibility, let's talk about learning something new. Not a whole college course or a brand new language, but even just a small skill or hobby you've never tried before. Maybe it's playing a few chords on a ukulele, or learning how to use that app your grandkid keeps talking about. The key here is novelty. The brain loves novelty. Every time you challenge yourself to learn something new, your brain starts firing up in all the right places. It's like giving it a fresh jolt of energy. I once met a 72-year-old woman who decided to learn how to knit, something she'd never done in her life. She told me she felt more alert, more focused, and even started sleeping better. Why? Because that one little habit engaged her hands, her memory, her attention, and her creativity. It's all connected. And this doesn't have to be complicated. You could even start by trying to memorize a short poem or a new recipe, or playing a memory game on your phone if you're comfortable with technology. It's less about what you choose and more about simply choosing to try something new regularly. Now, before we move on, I want to pause for a moment and say this. If you've noticed a little bit of forgetfulness lately, I want you to know something. It doesn't mean you're losing your mind. It doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Aging is a natural process, and yes, our brains do change, but that doesn't mean we're powerless. Far from it. You have more control over your mental sharpness than you might think. The exercises we're talking about today aren't meant to fix something that's broken. They're meant to nourish what's already working, to keep your brain active, strong, and ready to support you in living the life you want. Whether that means remembering your neighbor's name, enjoying a good book, or simply feeling more confident in your own skin. And the beautiful part? You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything all at once. Even just picking one small habit and doing it every day can start to create change. So if anything in this video speaks to you, I encourage you. Try it. See how you feel. And most importantly, be kind to yourself along the way. All right, we've started strong with a few simple but powerful ways to keep your brain buzzing with energy and clarity. Now let's dive deeper into a brain exercise that you may already be doing without even realizing how powerful it is. Storytelling. That's right. Telling stories, especially ones from your own life, is one of the most effective ways to keep your memory sharp and your brain engaged. Think about it. When you're telling a story to someone, you're pulling from the past, organizing your thoughts, putting them into words, reading the reaction on someone's face, and adjusting how you speak based on that. That's a whole orchestra of mental activity happening in real time. And the beautiful thing about storytelling is that you can do it anytime. With a friend, your grandchild, even over the phone. You can share memories from your childhood, how you met your partner, what school was like back in the day, or even funny things your dog did last week. The point isn't to impress anyone. It's to relive your experiences and give your brain a gentle jog through the pathways of memory. In fact, here's a little challenge you might enjoy. Every evening before bed, recall one specific moment from your day. Just one. Maybe it was the way the sunlight hit the garden, or something funny you overheard in the market. Close your eyes and try to play it back in your mind like a movie. Who was there? What sounds did you hear? How did it make you feel? This simple daily habit strengthens your memory muscles without feeling like a chore. Another powerful exercise is something you've probably been told to do 1,000 times before. But hear me out, because it really works. Physical movement. I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting weights. I'm talking about gentle, consistent movement that gets your blood flowing. Because when your body moves, your brain lights up. A short walk in the morning, stretching your arms and legs, doing a little dance while listening to your favorite music. Even gardening counts. When you move your body, you're increasing blood circulation, which brings more oxygen to your brain. And that oxygen, that's brain fuel. It helps your mind stay alert, clear, and full of energy. Plus, moving your body can improve your mood. And a happier brain is a healthier brain. I once met a man in his late 60s who started doing simple Tai Chi in the mornings. He told me it helped him focus better during the day and even reduce those moments where he'd walk into a room and forget why. He didn't join a fancy gym. He didn't buy expensive equipment. He just followed a video online and made it part of his routine. It's those small, steady movements, done consistently, that create lasting benefits. And here's something even more interesting. When you combine movement with mindfulness, that is, being fully present in the moment, you supercharge your brain's ability to form and keep memories. That means when you're walking, instead of letting your thoughts drift to what's for dinner or whether you remember to turn off the stove, try this. Focus on your surroundings. Feel your feet touching the ground. Notice the breeze. Smell the flowers or the trees around you. This simple act of tuning in sends a powerful message to your brain. Hey, this matters. Remember this. And your brain listens. Now, let's talk about something many of us overlook. Attention. You know how sometimes you're reading something or watching TV, and halfway through you realize you haven't been paying attention at all? That's completely normal. Our minds wander. But when that happens more frequently, it can start to feel like we're losing our edge. The truth is, most memory problems in older adults aren't about memory. They're about attention. If you don't pay attention to something in the first place, your brain can't store it. So how do we sharpen our attention? One very effective way is to practice focusing on one thing at a time. I know we've all been told multitasking is efficient, but for the aging brain, it's actually the opposite. Multitasking divides your attention, and divided attention weakens memory. Next time you're doing a task, whether it's making tea, folding laundry, or reading, do just that one thing. And do it with full attention. Notice how the tea smells, how the laundry feels, how the words on the page look. This isn't just about being mindful. It's about training your brain to focus again. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes to stay present and to remember what matters. One woman I spoke to in her early 70s started doing this while cooking. Instead of rushing through it or watching TV in the background, she began focusing just on the process. She noticed the colors of the vegetables, the sound of the pan sizzling, the way the spices smelled. Not only did her meals start tasting better, she said her memory and focus improved in just a few weeks. And here's the best part. None of this requires you to change your whole life. You're simply adding a little more awareness, a little more challenge, and a little more curiosity into the things you already do. At this stage in life, you've probably heard every trick in the book about keeping your mind sharp. But the truth is, it doesn't take a book. It just takes consistency. A few moments each day to stretch your brain, to be present, to try something a little new. Your brain is still capable of growth. It still wants to learn. It still wants to serve you well. You haven't missed your chance. You're not too old. Your memory isn't gone. It just needs to be cared for a little differently now. And the fact that you're watching this right now shows that you care, that you want to stay sharp, focused, and engaged in the life you love. Let's keep that momentum going. Let's keep going with something that may surprise you, learning new things. I know, the idea of taking up something brand new might sound a bit overwhelming at first, especially if it's been a while since you tried something totally unfamiliar. But here's the thing, your brain loves novelty. It craves fresh challenges. And every time you give it something new to chew on, it wakes up a little more. Now, I'm not saying you need to go get a degree or learn to code. It can be something simple, like trying a new recipe, learning a few words in a new language, picking up a musical instrument you've never played before, or even just using your non-dominant hand to brush your teeth. Yes, that one little change alone can fire up new connections in your brain. There's a gentleman I once chatted with who started teaching himself how to draw in his early 70s. He had never considered himself artistic, but he decided to follow a simple online course and practice 15 minutes a day. Over time, not only did his drawings improve, but he said he began remembering names and appointments better too. Why? Because learning activates the brain's plasticity, its ability to grow and change, no matter your age. And here's the really good news. Every time you struggle a little, when something feels hard or awkward at first, that's the sweet spot. That's your brain building new wiring. That's progress happening. Now let's bring it all home with one final, incredibly powerful brain exercise: social connection. Talking to people, laughing with friends, listening, sharing. These aren't just feel-good activities. They're vital for your mental sharpness and emotional well-being. Studies show that seniors who stay socially active have a lower risk of memory problems, depression, and even dementia. Think about the last time you had a really good conversation. Maybe it was with a neighbor, a family member, someone from your church, or even a stranger at the store. Your brain had to stay engaged, pick up on social cues, remember what was said, all while processing your own thoughts and responses. That's serious mental work, and it's fun too. And if you don't have people nearby, don't worry. You can still stay connected. Join an online community, call an old friend, write letters, even volunteering, whether in person or virtually, is a powerful way to keep your mind active and your heart full. What matters most is that you don't isolate yourself. Loneliness is not just sad, it's dangerous for your brain. But you don't have to let it win. One conversation a day, one smile, one connection. That's all it takes to start rewiring your brain for joy and clarity. Let me say this: there's no magic bullet when it comes to preventing memory loss. But the beautiful truth is, you don't need one. What you need is consistency. Small steps, taken daily, that train your brain to stay engaged, alert, and alive. So let's quickly reflect on everything we've touched on, not as a checklist, but as inspiration for your days ahead. Stimulate your brain with fun mental challenges, whether it's puzzles or word games. Share stories and memories to flex your recall muscles. Keep your body moving to send oxygen rushing to your brain. Practice mindfulness and attention to improve focus. Learn something new, no matter how small. And above all, stay connected, because your brain thrives in the company of others. It's never too late. You are not behind. You are right where you need to be. And every day you choose to invest in your mind, you are building a brighter, sharper, more independent future for yourself. Remember this: your brain is like a garden. It needs regular tending. Some sunshine, a little challenge, something fresh now and then. Nurture it with care, and it will bloom longer than you ever thought possible. So what about you? What brain-boosting habits have worked for you? What new thing are you curious to try? I'd love to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this video helped you, or if you think it could help someone you care about, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more simple, practical tips to help you thrive, not just survive, after 60. Here's to you, your story, your strength, and your sharp mind. You've got this. Let's keep growing, learning, and living fully. every single day.